Hello there, and welcome to the Bitcoin Takeover podcast. I'm Vlad, and this is episode number 150, which is super incredible because it's been 4 years and we got to this milestone. And today I'm going to interview two people who are doing a very cool Bitcoin event in Warsaw, Poland, which takes place at the end of March. And their names are Pierre Corbin and Tomek Kolodziejczuk. And they are the co-organizers of this very cool event, and I'm happy that I get to have them here. So hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
So I saw this tweet about this film festival, which takes place in Warsaw, and there are going to be lots of Bitcoin documentaries that are being screened. And my first reaction was, oh, this is so cool, I gotta get there. And my second reaction was, oh, I gotta interview these guys. So how did you come up with this idea?
I'm glad you are interviewing us. I hope you will come then. So see you in March in Warsaw. How did you come up with this idea? Well, I'm arranging a bit, trying to arrange this Bitcoin Maxi community in Poland, and we had a Bitcoin meetup, and I met Pierre there, and we thought about actually even before meeting, we somehow catched up on Twitter, and we thought, hey, maybe because I learned that this guy who made this documentary, Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin, he has a Polish girlfriend. He speaks Polish, and like, why don't I know him? Maybe let's do a screening of his documentary at our Bitcoin meetup, and it would be just a nice event, right? Somehow at the first meetup, we just didn't arrange with the local, like the projector to screen it. There was not super many people interested, so we thought, okay, let's first meet live, and then we can talk about screening of your movies some day later. But at the meetup, we got into a few drinks and we came up with the idea for the full Bitcoin movie festival, because Pierre knows many actually people from Bitcoin movie industry, because we see this industry actually is existing and it's growing. So we're trying to catch up with this and make a good event on the edge of Bitcoin technology and Bitcoin culture in the cinema. So we decided to organize Bitcoin FilmFest this March 24th to 26th in Warsaw.
Yeah.
So that was how we came up with the idea.
Yeah. And so we came up with the idea at the meetup, and then we met up again, I think like 2 weeks later or something. Again, we had more beers and that's when we're like, okay.
And we drafted, yeah. It was not just like stupid idea, let's do it. Because the other spark, like the other kind of catalyzer was that I'm doing this Weekend Capitalism. It is the largest conference for libertarians in Poland, and I'm organizing it since 7 years, so it's a 5th edition. And it was about to happen. It is about to happen. It will happen this spring in Warsaw at the same weekend. So Saturday and Sunday is the largest conference of libertarian in Poland. So it's like 500, 600 people, which I'm always trying to somehow orange peel. So this time they will have also opportunity to go next door, because two events happen actually very close to each other, and experience Bitcoin through movies. So Bitcoin FilmFest starts on Friday in Warsaw in the afternoon. Then on whole Saturday, we have Weekend Capitalism, where there will be talks, panels, discussions about economics, politics, philosophy of libertarianism in Polish and in English. So we have Polish and international guest speakers. And then on Sunday, we also have Weekend Capitalism, the conference. And then on Sunday afternoon, the conference ends and we go to the Bitcoin Film Fest. So there is like kind of two joint events which do not overlap with the agenda, but hopefully lots of audience will overlap. So we will orange peel Polish libertarians, and we will show Bitcoiners what great event is next door as well.
Yeah. So trying to, mix these two events as much as possible to make it a full weekend of libertarianism and Bitcoin, mostly Bitcoin through the Film Fest, and libertarianism through the conference, and make it a full thing. From Friday there'll be some workshops at the Film Fest, then the screening starts, then there's the weekend with the conference, and finishing the conference with the second day of the Film Fest. So kind of this full thing for a full round.
Few of the movies. So Bitcoin Film Fest is happening in great cinema in Palace of Culture. So it's like the central building of Poland, one of the most popular cinemas actually in the country. And most of the movies we screen there, we have 6 documentaries and 2 movies and few shorts we are screening at Weekend of Capitalism. So there will be even like larger audience, but not in the same cinema. That's the plan.
Yeah, so Tomek, you mentioned something about developing Bitcoin culture for cinema. And I was wondering if these films that you're going to be screening are entirely documentaries about Bitcoin adoption around the world, or if there's also some artistic stuff about, I don't know, some actors who play something related to Bitcoin.
Well, fortunately, there is more and more Bitcoin movies, but unfortunately, still majority of them are quite similar because they tell the audience what is Bitcoin, who was Satoshi Nakamoto, how does it work, which is great. And we are showing 2 or 3 such movies, but rest of them are also mostly documentaries. So we are screening the long forms. So like, let's say longer than 15 minutes in our term, it's long. They're all documentaries, yes, but we have some artistic stuff which was just submitted to us by pleb Bitcoiners, which are very short movies. So we will also show them in between the larger ones, because also the larger ones will have their creators with us. So between the movies, we are also doing panels and talks, discussions with some Bitcoin personas from Poland, from Europe, but also with creators of the movies. I think 5 of the movies have confirmed that their producers will be there in person. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and coming back to your question in general with the Bitcoin culture and filmmaking that there is, I think we're still at the stage where it is hard to get some film done that isn't pure education. And I say even just based on experience, it's hard enough to make a Bitcoin documentary where you're really pushing, education, but making more of the, what do you call it, like fan-like kind of films, right? The story of Satoshi or anything where there would be characters involved. I think it's still a bit too early because these require much higher budget in general, because many documentaries, it can be done with one editor and filming a few interviews. Like it's easier to put together than a bigger production where you need some actors. And I think because we're still so early, the audience being small, there isn't too many people that want to put money in that. But this, I think, is going to change at a accelerating pace, as of course more Bitcoiners come to this space.
Yeah, so there were 2 guys who produced clips, documentaries, and stuff who are on this show. And just to demonstrate to everyone that there's a lot of value in coming to the Bitcoin Takeover podcast, I'm going to promote their work without even getting paid for it. So there's Thorsten Hoffman, who did 2 Bitcoin documentaries. The first one was called Bitcoin, the End of Money as We Know It from 2015. And he produced a follow-up in 2020, which is called Cryptopia, Bitcoin Blockchains and the Future of Money, I think.
This is the one that is on Netflix?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm curious to know if you have that one. And there's another show which is kind of like South Park, but related to Bitcoin. It's called Bitcoin and Friends. And Bitcoin is actually a character who gets born and tries to figure out his existential stuff. And he gets involved with lots of characters who are actually present there during the history of Bitcoin. It's quite grotesque in its humor. So that's why I compare it to South Park. But there's something unique to it. I think it's pretty interesting.
Bitcoin and Friends, I don't know this one actually. I'm checking it out.
No, me neither. Please, Vlad, send links. But yeah, like there is I'm still surprised because we were doing, like in December, we were doing research on like, let's list all the Bitcoin movies that are out there. But we are still surprised. Like sometimes people just send us links of the creations they made and they are somewhere on the internet we couldn't find. Or like you mentioned about something we did not hear. But yeah, like like the time is limited and we have 2 days in a cinema and 3rd day in an old theater. So there is like 3 days of the festival. So we can screen maximum, let's say, 8 short, like medium-sized movies. So we have to choose something. Of course, we cannot screen everything, and it like relies on also personal collections. Who do we know? Who could come? Also copyrights. So we would like to screen everything that like the creators would like to be screened at, but what I like, what is my answer usually when somebody asks, "Hey, can you screen this?" Well, we don't have time anymore because we already locked our agenda, and it will be revealed actually tomorrow at the website, and all the titles and the screening time. But it's not the. Hopefully, it's gonna be first fest, but not the last one. So we hopefully are already creating lists for the next editions. We have been contacted by some guys from Italy, from Spain, that they were thinking about doing such things, and maybe let's think already about next edition in Barcelona. Well, why not? We have already films in line that wait also to be screened at our fest, but maybe in another city, hopefully.
No
Yeah,
pressure
'cause
there.
you-
I'm just trying to push content that was created by people who are on my podcast, because
Yeah, great. Sure. I want to see it.
Yeah, but I think in general, people have reached out, and I've had this conversation with a bunch of different people that were thinking, okay, like this idea of a Bitcoin Film Fest. The conversation that I had with Tomek that we were talking about, that a meetup was the first, let's say, tangible approach to it. Like, okay, yeah, maybe we can actually make it happen. But traveling around, whether it was in El Salvador, whether it was in Barcelona as well, at a meetup I went to, it's the kind of idea that came, and I also had it for a while in my mind. So it's different communities will be interested by that, and everyone loves film. I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people love film, and all the people that like film and like Bitcoin, if this event happens somewhere near them, I mean, they're going to go there for sure. It's it's a meetup on steroids.
So which
We also
films
have
are
a
going
good-
to be
good-
screened at this meetup on steroids? I guess you have like a very vague schedule already.
No, it's not very vague. We can actually tell you all the titles and what's our plan.
Mhm.
Let me just open it so I don't have to tire my memory. But what also I wanted to add is that we have a nice local partners, media partners. The cinema itself is our partner, and they are communicating the festival at their website, but also FilmWeb.pl, which is the largest media outlet about movies in Poland. There is some Bitcoiners inside their team, so we'll maybe have a nice announcement at the Bitcoin FilmFest related to this big brand, but they are our media partners. So we hope that there will be at least few, maybe many people who will be interested in Bitcoin because they saw it in some, movie news. Hey, let's learn about Bitcoin from documentaries. Why not? So we hope not only Bitcoiners, but also pre-coiners will come to FilmFest. Everybody's welcome. Okay, so I have the agenda. Yes, is it here? Not yet. We start with Bitcoin workshops on Friday 24th at 10 a.m. We are still considering whether to maybe not do 2 workshops for basic and advanced team. That's still in design, but surely if you want to join us, help us, or attend such workshops, book your time from 10 a.m. On Friday 24th in Warsaw. So then at 4 p.m. we start with Human B, Down the Rabbit Hole. That's the movie from Germany. And then we go with one interesting new movie from the Cointelegraph team about how Irish farmers can turn cow dung into digital gold. This movie, I think, do not have yet very marketed title, but it's a short 15-minute
I think the editing isn't even finished yet, to be honest. I think they're preparing it just to premiere it at the film festival.
Oh, that would be great. So Cointelegraph is also joining in closer with this fest. Then we make a short break to discuss. There will be after Human B, there is also a panel with a talk. Then there is a short break, for toilet, cigarette, whatever. And then we are presenting The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin with this great director and producer of this movie, Pierre Corbin. So he will meet also with few Bitcoiners to discuss this film. And then we all go next door to a little after party because it's going to be like 8, 9 p.m. Then Saturday we have Weekend of Capitalism. We are screening a sly roundabout way, the documentary about the story of the first Bitcoin diploma in El Salvador. It's on Saturday. And also Bitcoin is Generational Wealth. Probably you know this one. It's a short movie from Swan. And then on the second day of actual film fest in a cinema, which is Sunday, we start with Bond to Unbind. That's also a documentary about Bitcoin adoption in El Salvador. Then This Machine Greens, how Bitcoin is actually making our planet greener and the energy industry more ecological. Also, there is a panel in between, and the last movie at the end is the great Mr. Satoshi from Arte, our French partner. So that's our actually 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 movies we are showing, not counting few shorts under 5 minutes, which will be presented as trailers. We have also a trailer of a movie documentary about Karl Menger, which is being produced in Poland because Karl Menger actually was born in Poland. So yeah, there is few also perks that we maybe will not disclaim now, but some surprises from us and from our partners that it's not only about watching movies, but the event is Bitcoin party, Bitcoin conference built around watching movies. Maybe we will show some other cultures. Maybe there will be some music, some visual arts. Let's see what could await us. That's also a surprise for me. But every day, more people are contacting us, and they want to cooperate on this. They want to, help with workshops. So hopefully, a bit more even will come up in the following days.
Are you concerned that your friends, neighbors, or KYC exchange might know how much Bitcoin you own? It is time to take your financial privacy seriously with Wasabi Wallet, a free and open source wallet solution which makes use of mega coin joins to mix your coins with those of hundreds of other strangers. Thanks to the groundbreaking Wabi Sabi engine, your coins get divided in smaller, untraceable units, which grant you great anonymity for both hodling and spending. Download Wasabi Wallet 2.0 today at wasabiwallet.io and take advantage of the mega coin joins. It's free and it's open source, so don't trust, verify. CryptoSteel are innovators in Bitcoin cold storage. Back in 2013, they launched the CryptoSteel cassette, which made it easy to back up your seed phrase, passphrase, or any other form of private key on the sturdy metal which resists water, fire, and earthquakes. Today, CryptoSteel offers the Motherload, an all-in-one box which endows you with everything you need to become financially sovereign. Inside of the Motherload, you get a CryptoSteel capsule and a hardware wallet of your choice. All CryptoSteel products are engineered and manufactured in Poland. Order your CryptoSteel metal backup system today on cryptosteel.com and use promo code BTCTKVR at checkout for a 10% discount on your first order. CryptoSteel, secure your wallet seed phrase. Are you a writer, photographer, musician, or video creator who's trying to generate some revenue? Bumby is the Bitcoin way to monetize your content. It's more censorship resistant than any other platform of its kind, with a low and flat one-time fee of 10%. Bumby is as easy to use as any social media mobile application. Sign up today at Bumby.com and subscribe for free to the Bitcoin Takeover account to get access to some time-exclusive content. If you are monetizing your creativity, why not get paid in Bitcoin for it? Bombi.com, the Bitcoin way to monetize your content. Shopping with your Bitcoin on the internet is easy. Shop&Bit is Europe's biggest Bitcoin store with over 800,000 products, ranging from Bitcoin books, toothpaste, mobile phones, computers, and watches. This month, I bought a Nintendo Game & Watch console with the classic Legend of Zelda, and it arrived in only 5 working days. And if you can't find what you're looking for, Shop&Bit has got you covered. Their concierge service will get you anything and ship it worldwide. Additionally, they also have a travel hacking service that can get you the best deals on all things travel, flights, hotels, and more, for business and for vacations. Bitcoin Takeover listeners get a nice discount, of course. Use code BTCTKVR on your first order for a one-time €5 discount. For more details, go to shopinbit.com. Shop&Bit, Europe's biggest Bitcoin store. That's very nice, Tomek, and there are quite a few documentaries that I haven't seen yet. The fact that you have a premiere, which maybe is not completely edited or fleshed out yet, is also super interesting and an extra reason for me to show up there. But I want to ask you this. Is there any specific film or documentary or anything that you really tried to get the rights for, but were not able to for whatever reason?
I think no, all the ones that we wanted to get we got. The one that felt a bit harder at the start was the Mr. Satoshi, because it's distributed by Arte, which is of course a big distribution brand. We reached out to them, and they originally wanted us to pay for the screening. But we're lucky enough that one of the Bitcoiners that is involved, and he's been helping us by building the website and other elements when it comes to this event, has a friend that works at Arte, so was able to put us in relationship with someone that allowed us to reach an agreement with them where they become our partners. We promote their brand, and they will be releasing some articles and putting forward our event on their social network and platforms. And this allowed us to get the film for free as well and be able to screen it. So, not that this process was complicated either. It was just slightly longer than the others, where the others was just, yes, great. Because again, a lot of these Bitcoin documentaries are often produced by individual filmmakers. It's all very indie, unless you start talking about bigger projects like, I think, Cryptopia is the bigger scale one that was able to get distributed on a platform like Netflix. And I think this would be a completely different conversation as well, and even likely harder to negotiate than the one on Arte, because Arte themselves, they have this film completely available for free. So, it was just a matter of sharing the rights.
It's funny that you mentioned that Cryptopia had a bigger budget and had more resources, because 3 years ago, I interviewed Torsten Hoffmann, who is the director and creator of the project, and he seemed to be working mostly alone on the project. It's just that he was super committed and tried to reach out to as many cinemas as he could, and was using everything that was being handed to him as a reason to pitch the project somewhere higher up. And I guess that's how he made his way into Netflix, because he needed some sort of screenings in different cities. He needed to get aired on national television in a few countries, and he managed to do that. So it took him, I think, 3 years to get on Netflix. It's not like it happened overnight. It's only a matter of committing to your project and realizing that this is what you have and you should sell it.
No, definitely. And I think, anyway, the quality of his work speaks for itself. That's what got him on Netflix at the end of the day. It's the quality of the documentary that he managed to produce.
Yeah. And you also mentioned, Pierre, that you're working on your own documentary, your own project that's going to be screened, or there's going to be a trailer. I'm not sure I understood correctly, but what's it about?
So I have my first film that will be screening at the Bitcoin FilmFest, which is The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin. But actually, I do have a new trailer for my new project now, and we may screen it at the Film Fest. And this one is about who runs the world of high finance, our monetary system from a high level, and who creates this and upholds this status that we have of the North being rich and developed and the South being poor and underdeveloped, and what groups. So obviously I'm talking about the IMF, the BIS, and just an investigation into these institutions, how they work today, and what kind of situations they cause, they create in the world. But that's work in progress. That's still in production, and I hope to have it done by the end of this year, but not sure. It'll depend on the progress I manage to put out there and funding.
I'm pretty sure that the libertarian audience that's going to go to that meetup next doors is going to be super interested in seeing the trailer. So no pressure there. I guess you want to make it look right and not rush it when you get a first impression from the audience. But I guess it would be super cool if you're able to display that one, even as a teaser.
Yeah, I think, we haven't discussed it so much in detail with Tomek, but I think it'd be interesting to premiere the trailer there, the public premiere, having it at the Film Fest. It would allow to make it a bit of a more interesting social media interaction as well, and boost a bit more the interactions that I can get from this trailer. So yeah, that's something people can look forward to.
So how does it work with the Warsaw Film Fest? Are you selling tickets, or is the entrance free of charge?
Oh, well, we are still in a early bird phase of selling tickets. In one day it should change, so rush for cheaper entrances. So basically, you pay the ticket to the cinema for the room and screening. So yes, it's there is a cost, but plus on that we are like trying to provide some T-shirts and materials and like all the agenda around. For the surplus from the tickets. We are having also some sponsors, so little partners. So hopefully there will be more and more Bitcoin perks financed from that. But yes, there is a price, but I think it's quite affordable. For now, it's 200,000 sats per whole event plus Weekend of Capitalism. So like 2 events, or you can choose just a cinema day ticket from the cinema, which is in Satoshi around, it's gonna be around 90,000 sats, something like that.
Yeah, and we also have it for individual days. You can buy for day 1 and just for day 2 if that's based on whoever has what amount of time, and that's all on the website, bitcoinfilmfest.com. All the tickets are there. They can be bought using sats.
So the question right now is, are you guys going to hodl if you release Bitcoin? If you receive Bitcoin, are you going to hodl, or are you going to sell it to pay for your expenses?
No, basically we prefer to pay with fiat because that's what, I don't know, cinema or a catering provider wants. But we will try to sell as little Bitcoins as possible. Yes, hopefully those Bitcoins that, if there will be any left after the festival, they could be invested in the next editions.
I've interviewed Rodolfo from La BitConf, and he was doing the 10th edition of the conference, and he told me that he did the first edition in 2013, and he raised some Bitcoin for it. And by the time he actually organized the conference, the price went up from about $100 to $1,000. And basically, he was able to finance all further editions of La BitConf from the initial fundraising that he did for the first edition, which I think is really cool.
Oh,
do you hope
cool,
that
yes.
something similar is going to happen to your film festival?
Well, yes, surely we hope that.
Yeah, it depends on what the price of Bitcoin decides to do, So, plebs push it higher.
Yeah, buy more Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but buy more Bitcoin.
Well, that's why we do this festival as well, so more people could get it.
Yeah, so you can do more festivals with the exact same money.
Well, we hope to. This is not the only one festival, as I mentioned, yes. But we did not think, to be honest, about like how we gonna finance the next one yet. This one is not that big of a problem, so hopefully, just the next editions. This is the MVP. This is the pilot edition. We want to end up, in Hollywood one day.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
literally,
create our own, Bitcoin would be the future of film, right?
Bitcoin would.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to pay for accommodation in California, but that's a different conversation to be had. I think Warsaw is a nicer place. Europe is more cultural than Hollywood has been in decades. And I think you guys have a very good start in a good place. And speaking of the place, there's a lot to be said about the venue in which the event takes place, because there is some history behind it. And it's kind of interesting that Bitcoin is taking over it.
Yeah.
The cinema is happening in a Palace of Culture, Warsaw. I don't know, Vlad, if you can show this photo maybe for your audience how it looks like. Basically, it is.
It's like a giant penis in the center of Warsaw.
Pointy penis.
No, the giant penis is in Wrocław. Is in another city.
There is one, yeah.
Yes. No, this is basically a communist tower, as you could imagine, like large communist tower, which was built in the 50s. And it was a tallest building in Poland up until like 2020. So now it's the second largest, tallest building in Poland. It was built by communists when they saved us from World War II and they rebuilt Poland, so to speak. It was a symbol of their occupation and their power to build this palace of culture, of science, named with honor of Joseph Stalin. So it was a gift from Soviets to Poland. Lots of Polish people do not like this for this symbolism. They do not like this building. They want it to be destroyed. But actually this building became a symbol and icon of Warsaw. On every postcard or internet graphics about Warsaw photos, you will see this characteristic shape. So this is the most iconic, probably, building, like modern building in Poland. And that's where Bitcoin FilmFest happens. So it's maybe irony of times that in Communist Palace, now we organize libertarian capitalist event. And yes, we are very glad to make such takeover.
It's you gotta infiltrate this kind of institution from the inside. That's what Bitcoin does, the silent revolution.
That's what the communists did before, which is even more ironic. It's called in Marxist literature, withering the state from within, which means that you're going to infiltrate every state structure and basically push it to go in the direction of the communist revolution. Now it happens the same, but with Bitcoin, which has different intentions. Hopefully, because I see lots of statists infiltrating the space and being like, please, daddy government, do something about this. Please regulate Ethereum out of existence and arrest people we don't like.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not us.
Yeah, but also, the whole building where this is happening, it's, I moved to Poland when I was a teenager, and always when you would want to do something, it would be head to the center of Warsaw. This building has always been there. There was nightclubs. I believe there's still at least one nightclub inside it. There's this cinema.
We are doing our after party there on Saturday.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But no, because this is in one of the bars, right? I'm thinking like a proper Mirage nightclub. I think.
Yes. There is Mirage.
Yeah. Yeah, and and there's just a lot of stuff happening there in general, because it's in the center of Warsaw, and again, it's a 10-minute walk less from where the conference is going to be happening on Saturday and Sunday. So allowing us to keep it to these iconic parts of Warsaw that are right in the center and walking distance, so that everyone can just enjoy Warsaw as much as possible.
Yeah, I just checked to see what the price of Bitcoin is right now. So basically, the price of admission that you have in fiat terms is about $46. And
it's
for the entire weekend, not for just one day.
And conference materials.
Yes, for the entire weekend, which is, I think, very competitive.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe that someone doesn't own any Bitcoin, is a university student like I used to be. Are there going to be special discounts for people who are gonna get orange pilled at the event?
Again, sorry.
So my question is, let's say that Polish students want to come in and watch, but maybe that the price is prohibitive as they don't have this much money to spend on one event. Is there going to be like a special discount for students?
Well, there is a special student ticket at Weekend Capitalism for Polish students. So yes, they can get it at Weekend Capitalism, but it's not specifically for Bitcoin Film Fest. We did not think actually about it. If somebody would come from abroad, he would come to Bitcoin Film Fest. If he would come from Poland, he would go through Weekend Capitalism. So yes, we have special discounts actually for students, but maybe we should communicate it better at the Bitcoin Film Festival. That's a good point. We did not have yet such question, but surely we will be soon doing some discount codes, yes, as well for students. Why not?
And also, there's Thunder are going to be there. The Thunder Games, they're going to be there. They're going to be displaying some of their games. They're going to be, hopefully orange pilling people, because anyone will have access to and be able to join the workshops that will be happening at the cinema. It's not just restricted to the film fest. So we're hoping to be able to get non-Bitcoiners to join and maybe orange pill them this way. And, over the long term, they can stack sats themselves as well. So it's an unlocking event for no coiners.
So out of curiosity, who's coming from Thunder Games? Is it Desiree Dickerson or is it Jack Everett?
It's Greg. It's Greg Floor. He's Polish. There is like 2 or 3 Polish guys in the team. So we met him also at the Bitcoin meetup. So he's coming.
Okay, that's nice. As far as I know, they have at least 3 successful games. The first one was called Bitcoin Bounce. The second one was something with speed, something with driving a car.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone just for the sake of being correct. Let me look up what it's called.
Yeah, I have it too, actually. Turbo 84.
Yeah, Turbo 84. It's supposed to have that nostalgic 1980s aesthetic with pink and purple. But yeah, that one is also interesting. And they also have more recent ones like Solitaire and something like Candy Crush. So they have quite a catalog for people who play games on their phones.
Yeah.
And the best part is that you make Bitcoin playing. You don't have to spend anything. You just play and you install a wallet in the background. You get paid for the high scores that you're generating.
Yeah. So I think it's a great way to orange pill people, and it's cool that they can be there to directly present their product to no coiners and explain why their product exists, how it works, how people can benefit from it. I found that I managed to orange pill my mom this way, kind of. That's why I think it's great to have them join.
What is your expectation for proportions in terms of foreigners and locals? Do you expect local libertarians or local students to come to the Bitcoin Film Festival? Or is the audience entirely foreign people who saw the tweet and realized, okay, I want to travel to Warsaw and attend this event, like, this guy?
No, actually, there is mostly Polish people who got the tickets so far. And there is many already libertarians from Weekend Capitalism who signed up for Bitcoin Film Fest. It's hard. It's going to be also a hard logistic management for us to make all the rooms full, to sell as many tickets as possible, but not to overcrowd the room so everybody has to sit. So yes, we will slowly need to have more info from our attendees, whether they are actually coming or they just bought tickets and they will not go to Bitcoin Film Fest, so we could give this ticket to someone else. It's just hard. It's hard to say, Vlad. I don't know. Everybody is welcome, and it's. I really can't say at this moment what's the proportions. I can bet recently, for example, we had. I don't know if you guys have any experience with larger Bitcoin events. But with libertarian events, I was talking to my another libertarian activist friends, and we discussed that there is one number actually came through the discussion, the same percentage of women who we read our newsletters, libertarian newsletters, or they follow fan page of some capitalistic free market NGO. And I checked also the percentage of women that attended previous weekend capitalism, and it's the same number, apparently. So it's like not a surprise. Could you guess what's the feminine ratio at our events usually, and libertarian audience in Poland?
I don't know, man. 50.
It's 15. 15.
Oh, okay.
15.
I got excited
I
for
thought it'd be
nothing.
higher than that, to be honest. 15.
Yeah. So let's see if Bitcoin FilmFest is gonna be like this. Hopefully, this number could be larger, but I don't know. Whoever comes, he is very welcome, and we will be happy from everyone.
Yeah. So I think, what we're really hoping is that through film, it's just much easier to digest for people. And our partner Kinoteca, which is the cinema where it's going to be happening, they're going to be also selling separate tickets. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Tomek, but they're going to be selling separate tickets for each film. So even people that are just curious can come for one screening, and hopefully this can open up to an even broader audience. But mostly local Polish. It's the first edition. It's hard for us to give accurate estimates. For the second one, we'll be doing an update podcast with you, and then we can share more details.
Okay, on your website, you have two sections that I guess are useful to get talked about. First of all, there is this section which is called Be a Speaker. And I was going to ask you, how can people apply to be speakers during the panels?
Well, people are sending us emails, like just contacting us. This already section could be closed because I don't think we have any more speakers time in our agenda. But yes, many people are just directly emailing us or sending us on Twitter. It's just so much easier than formal us over like websites, and we are very responsive on our channels.
So does the criterion have to do anything with film? Are there going to be actors or directors who are going to be part of panels, or just general Bitcoiners?
Yeah, we have some local document makers. We have some movie journalists who will be talking. Rest of them are like representatives of our partners, like people from Thunder Games or also creators of the movies. So there is not that many actually panels. Like there is 3, 4. Okay, we will need like 10 people. We are doing. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I invite just people to come and see. I don't know if this is if you want to be a speaker, if somebody wants to be a speaker, just email us or message us at FilmFest BTC at Twitter.
Yeah,
maybe there is still an agenda for you. Yeah.
It's a matter of, what's the purpose. We reprioritize. I mean, given how the organization is happening right now, it's so last minute, so many interesting ideas that come. We reorganize pretty much every second day. So, we're open to any kind of opportunities still right now. But the original focus was, having as many filmmakers come so that we can have a bit of a Q&A after their screening. And we have a few coming, and then adding other Bitcoin topics like the guys from Thunder Games and other partners, like Tomek mentioned.
Are you, Vlad, coming?
Of course, Vlad. I'm coming. If you need a moderator, hit me up.
Oh yeah, nice. That's great. That's great. You could also we can arrange you some room, and so we could make some little studio, so we could make maybe interviews with guests. I don't know how it fits your podcast agenda, but you're also very welcome to do any media you want at the event.
My podcast agenda is to interview interesting people, and ideally interview people you have not heard anywhere else. And I take pride in introducing some people who, after they were on my show, they went on to join Stefan Livera or, I don't know, Citadel Dispatch or lots of bigger podcasts. But I very much enjoyed discovering.
Tomek, I'm from Poland. I'm pleb. I've never been on big podcast. I'm very glad to be at Bitcoin Takeover. Yes.
You're glad, and I am Vlad. So we get along well. So I was going to also ask you about this section, which is called Become a Sponsor. How does a company, or I guess donor or whatever, become a sponsor? Because I like to take pride in the fact that most of my listeners are from the class of 2013. So this means that they might have the capacity to finance the project if they like it. So how can they do it?
Well, the best first step would be definitely to contact us directly and see how this person could be helpful and what we can say. How could we thank this person? There is few options. We can be grateful to sponsors. So we could, I don't know, brand networking events. So if you're a product owner, if you have some brand, you could sponsor the after party, or you could screen your little trailer, little list. You could maybe have a booth in the cinema or at Weekend of Capitalism. We are also arranging a little cocktail party for business owners and our VIPs on Thursday before the event. So if you'd like also to join that and have a high level networking, that's a good opportunity as well. So if anyone is interested in helping us out, just DM us at FilmFest BTC on Twitter. I'm Tomek. It's Tomek K on Twitter as well. Me and Pierre is Pierre Corbin.
Yeah.
I think your Twitter handle is like that. And yes, if you want to be helpful, like any amount of money would be helpful. So we could hire maybe or feed at least some volunteers, accommodate guests, bring some producers, because that's also a cost that we are bearing. So thank you in advance, anyone.
Yeah, and I think in general, this kind of event in Poland, I think can bring a lot of opportunity for sponsors, because Poland is, one of the fastest growing economies in the European Union, still is. Binance just opened offices. People are going to slowly get more and more into this, of course, crypto, but we're pushing for Bitcoin only. And I think there's just this big opportunity given the level of education people have, this freedom focused society, right, that came out of communism, and I think it's just a good space to have any kind of branding opportunities for sponsors, and also for other type of funding. We do have one of our partners that is Geyser. So we didn't announce everything yet, and I wanted to just hint at it. The announcement will come in next week or the next 2 weeks. There will be a special Geyser grant created for the Film Fest, and we hope to be able to raise money through that. So anyone that can't take part in the Bitcoin Film Fest physically can also take part virtually, because every single film that we'll be screening is available online. And anyone can go and fund for their favorite films, and that's another way that people can get involved and support us directly.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about Crypto Steel. They do these metal plates, and they're from Poland, and I'm surprised that they did not become sponsors yet, because I spoke with Wojtek.
They are. I mean, we not agree like a particular deal, but we are friends, and their logo is in our partners. They are coming. We will have a few Crypto Steels probably for as a prizes for audience, and yes, they are coming as well. We are very proud that they are also from Poland, and they're cool guys from Warsaw.
Yeah,
city.
And they produce these
the city with
in Poland.
With the penis building.
If you use promo code BTCTKVR, you get 10% off on your order, by the way. And
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, they do some very good work, and they are OGs. Like, they invented metal plates for Bitcoin. Everyone else copied them, and they don't get too much credit. And that's why I spoke with Wojtek last year at the Baltic Honey Badger conference, and it seemed like this is so absurd, because companies like Bill Fuddle or CryptoTag Zeus or whatever, they seem to have more fans on Twitter or whatever, and Crypto Steel seems to be less popular, and I don't like that. I'm trying to push Crypto Steel. They sponsor this podcast, FYI. Mm-hmm. But I like their work, and I like the fact that they produce their metal plates in Poland. They did not go to China like the other ones. But yeah, I'm super happy that we have this element in common. And I'm happy that I will also meet Wojtek from Crypto Steel at the festival. And I'm looking at the sponsors list right now. You have European Bitcoiners. There's Kinoteka, which is the venue. Or
We need to update this list. I think there is 2 or 3 more that we are uploading their logos today or tomorrow.
there is 21 Polska, Polish Bitcoin Association, Laissez-Faire, Swaply or Swaply, I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
I think Swaply.
Satsback, SovBTC, Bitcoin.pl. So you have quite a few partners.
Yes, so not necessarily they are sponsors, but they are our partners because either we know they are good Bitcoin maxis who have their business located in Poland, and we just would like to showcase and somehow integrate Bitcoin industry here locally, or they help us out with some contacts with media presence, etc. So it doesn't mean that the fact that we have like 10 logos over there, it doesn't mean that we got like $5,000 from each, But we are very, very grateful that we also are getting this event in their first edition is actually getting credibility from such great partners as Albi, Thunder, Geyser, FilmWeb, Kinoteka. Yes, we are just glad that it's a bigger family of people who want to this Bitcoin Film Fest to happen and be a very good pilot edition of something hopefully that could be a future in the movie industry.
So let's say that this becomes super popular, right? And every documentary and film producer in the Bitcoin space is going to want to get featured in your next editions. What are the criteria? How do you evaluate if something is good enough to get screened or if it's not? Is it about popularity? Is it about image quality? Is it about some topics?
Well, so I think one of the important aspects that we wanted now was to be able to give variety, right? So we wanted to make sure that we have some film that is going to present El Salvador, for example, right? Because we thought especially if someone doesn't know about Bitcoin, they may have just heard the fact that Bitcoin is legal tender in El Salvador, right? So they don't know much about Bitcoin. They don't know much about El Salvador, if anything, in any of these topics. And, being able to have something that presents this and proves adoption and how it is working was an important element for us. Same thing when it comes to this machine greens, it talks about the energy, just the kind of thing that can change the basic opinions that people can have on Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that's mostly what we were looking for this edition, being able to have good films, interesting, and just have a variety of topics, because one thing that happens with Bitcoin documentaries is that a lot of them in the end can talk about the same stuff. I mean, I think of my first film, The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin. Well, I explain how Bitcoin works, what is the blockchain, what's the difficulty adjustment. The halving, all this stuff that ends up being repeated. And it's great, it's important to have this part of the education, but if you're organizing a film fest, you can't have just that. So I think that's kind of part of the criteria that we had, variety.
Okay. So advice to filmmakers and documentary makers in Bitcoin: try to be original in terms of topics. Don't repeat the same old stuff about who Satoshi is, or who he might be, or she, or it, or they, or whatever. Don't try to focus too much on stuff that's already out there and may have been explained better. Try to focus on something specific. And I guess the social impact of Bitcoin is a bigger topic than trying to explain the fundamentals in a way that anyone can understand. Because we got to a point where I guess education regarding Bitcoin in English is abundant. I did see that, so you guys don't know, but I did a free open source magazine. You can even print it for your event, but we can talk about that later. I did see that in the English edition, it did not get too much acknowledgement, even though it was printed in more copies. But for the French and the Spanish translations, it was much more appreciated, specifically because there's not as much content that's educational in these languages. So if you do something in English, it's better to stay niche. But if you want to do something in a different language, which doesn't have as much content about Bitcoin, it's super useful to have the fundamentals.
Yeah. So, and I think, coming back to what you were saying earlier about, focus on these kind of stories, not these ones. I think it's also a matter of how things can be explained. There's new ways of presenting things that can work better for different people. I think a good example of, the story of Satoshi is one of the films that we will be screening that is called the Mystère Satoshi, the French documentary, because they get into that, but they went very creative when it comes to that. It's a bit of a directive line. It is in a cartoon style, very mysterious, cypherpunk-like, about how Satoshi, as the story progresses, the kind of questions that Satoshi could have been asking himself, like really creating a character around it. And this is good, refreshing, and great storytelling, right? So it's not necessarily a rule. I think it's just try and be fresh about it. A documentary that is just a written memoir, and I put my documentary in this category too, right? I'm being very self-critical in this as well. I think there's been a lot of that when it comes to English content, particularly as you were saying, and it's I think the maturity of Bitcoin films is reaching the point where way more creativity can be added.
Yes, so let's not close our minds on Bitcoin documentaries and how things could be explained. We are waiting for a great series about who was Satoshi, about some maybe crypto utopia, about Bitcoin future, about maybe some science fiction story, how Bitcoin-like thing was involved and was invented on another planet. There could be like Bitcoin story, and Bitcoin culture has a potential for much more, as you said, creativity and also fiction, which could be not only documenting and reporting what's going on in Salvador, but inspiring and motivating and showing us values, showing motives for people, what is good, what is bad, and be the art, right? Documentary is not necessarily the art yet. It's reportage.
Yeah, I think the first person to produce something like that, really based off a narrative. I mean, do you have 100% certainty you will be on the next edition of the Bitcoin FilmFest?
If you do not promote shitcoins.
Bitcoin only, of course.
Right. So let's close with this one. Why should people attend the Bitcoin Film Festival in Warsaw? And also, how can they follow the event?
Yeah, I can start with that. So why, I think it's for anyone that hasn't been to Warsaw, first off, if you're into Bitcoin and you ever thought of visiting Warsaw, it's like a great opportunity for it. The city has a lot to offer. It's super fun. And especially if you're going to be at a weekend where there's, people you can hang out with through the conference, through the film fest, all the side events that are going to happen, the workshops, all of this. I mean, you're just going to have a blast, basically. I think it's as simple as that. Warsaw is really fun, very dynamic. The city center is fairly small, which allows everyone to be close, and it's packed with restaurants and bars. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. And I think altogether we can, just enjoy the Bitcoin culture and the start of it, as well as more technical elements of it and libertarian talks that we can enjoy at the weekend of capitalism.
Yeah, and being there would also help the world kickstart not only Polish Bitcoin Maxi community, because Poland, to be honest, it's unfortunately quite strong on crypto, but very weak on the Bitcoin side, and we're trying to change that. But also to kickstart the new thing in a Bitcoin culture. There were a few attempts to organize some Bitcoin or cryptocurrency blockchain film festivals, but I don't think anything survived to this date, which would be at our scale. So hopefully, this is start of something big, and you can be part of the beginning of nice history, as we all are with early stage of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. And where can people find us? So obviously the website, bitcoinfilmfest.com, there's we're going to update it today, tomorrow as well, with the final list of all the films, the schedule, all of the new partners. But from there, you can buy tickets directly. You can also find there a link to the Weekend Capitalismo if you want to get some more information. That's also just weekendcapitalismo.pl, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
So-
the outside, it could look like the announce was a bit late, or the website does not ensure the newbie and the newcomer the event is actually that big and happening. But yes, it is. Like behind the scenes, nice things are happening. Everything is well organized, and we are having people coming in. Like every day, a few tickets are being sold, and through the Weekend of Capitalism, through Bitcoin FilmFest. So yes, it's we are expecting this event to be lit. So I just hope the weather is nice, we are all healthy, and can't wait, to be honest. If you guys want to follow FilmFest and get some news, even if you do not plan to attend but want to see what's happening, we are of course at Twitter /FilmFestBTC. Unfortunately, Bitcoin FilmFest was not available. So FilmFest BTC at Twitter. We are also at Telegram. So there is a chat with attendees. You can ask us questions. We update our audience there with the news. So it's t.me, like a Telegram /Bitcoin FilmFest. And also we are at Nostre. So our NPub is NPUB1RJTRS7. You can check it. We have it linked on Twitter. So yes, there is plenty of ways to follow us.
Yeah, and I think it's again, even for people not attending, it's worth following us. You can see what's happening, and you'll be updated on the special online community elements that we're going to be adding to this, as well as any future edition of the Film Fest.
Yeah, the most popular question.
It's not like we have the office and big team of paid social media interns to answer all the messages, but it's basically us 2 plus 4 more friends, volunteers, and we are trying to figure it out, everything. And it's going well so far. We hope we'll be super responsive to you wherever you email us. If you have any questions, also info@bitcoinfilmfest.com. You can email us.
Actually, the last question, but the most popular question when you deal with Bitcoin events is there going to be a live stream?
No.
So you have to be there. You have to buy the ticket, travel to
be there
Warsaw.
to see the movie. You can, of course, most of the movies, not all of them, but most of the movies we present, they're available online. It's not like they are super behind a paywall or copyrighted behind Netflix somewhere. So if you don't want to come, you just want to watch the movies, we have our titles. We have been listing them on Twitter for some time, so you can watch them online. But this is about the unique experience of watching it together with us. So come to Warsaw.
Yeah, but not exclusives. They're gonna be exclusive, so you should chill it harder, man. Just be like,
there will be some exclusives, right? Like there'll be my trailer. There'll be the trailer of the Carl Menger film. There will be some exclusives there. That, of course, it's the only one place where all of this content will be, again, in one place, right? So it's, I think, the easiest way to get up to date with the best Bitcoin content out there. And recommend to join for that. But if ever, again, we'll be tweeting everything as the festival is happening. Whenever a film starts, we'll be tweeting about it. We'll share the link. You can go watch it at the same time as us.
There will be not
Sorry?
No, sorry. I just got a little lag, yeah.
And once you watch the film, you'll be also able to share your opinions directly on social networks, but also through the voting system that will be set up accepting your stats. Yeah,
there will be no live stream, but there is a team from Italy, from 21, coming with their video equipment. So there will be recording, there will be interviewing audience and guests, maybe some street service, because it's right next to the biggest probably crossroad in Poland, with where many people walk every day. So hopefully they will also notice maybe our flags waving from Palace of Culture and join our festival. But there will be possibility to watch some video footage made by our Italian plebs.
And I think also we can no doubt count on Joe Nakamoto making another one of his videos, just walking in the street, asking people if they know about Bitcoin and they want to get his Bitcoin. in the streets of Warsaw this time.
Exactly.
I should join him. That would be fun.
For sure. He'll be there too, man. So of course. I think it would be great. You two together would be really good.
Nice.
Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you, Tomek. Thank you, Pierre. And if you have been listening to this and you did not pay attention for whatever reason, go to bitcoinfilmfest.com, and that's where you find all the information about everything that we talked about. But this was, I guess, more convenient, and this was also a nice introduction to the guys behind this project, because I'm pretty sure that you're going to hear more about them in the future. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vlad.
Thank you very much, Vlad. We look forward to seeing you.
See you in Warsaw.
Yeah.
See you in Warsaw. Are you concerned that your friends, neighbors, or KYC exchange might know how much Bitcoin you own? It is time to take your financial privacy seriously with Wasabi Wallet, a free and open source wallet solution which makes use of mega coin joins to mix your coins with those of hundreds of other strangers. Thanks to the groundbreaking Wabi Sabi engine, your coins get divided in smaller, untraceable units, which grant you great anonymity for both hodling and spending. Download Wasabi Wallet 2.0 today at wasabiwallet.io and take advantage of the mega coin joins. It's free and it's open source, so don't trust, verify. CryptoSteel are innovators in Bitcoin cold storage. Back in 2013, they launched the CryptoSteel cassette, which made it easy to back up your seed phrase, passphrase, or any other form of private key on the sturdy metal which resists water, fire, and earthquakes. Today, CryptoSteel offers the Motherload, an all-in-one box which endows you with everything you need to become financially sovereign. Inside of the Motherload, you get a CryptoSteel capsule and a hardware wallet of your choice. All CryptoSteel products are engineered and manufactured in Poland. Order your CryptoSteel metal backup system today on cryptosteel.com and use promo code BTCTKVR at checkout for a 10% discount on your first order. CryptoSteel, secure your wallet seed phrase. Are you a writer, photographer, musician, or video creator who's trying to generate some revenue? Bumby is the Bitcoin way to monetize your content. It's more censorship resistant than any other platform of its kind, with a low and flat one-time fee of 10%. Bumby is as easy to use as any social media mobile application. Sign up today at Bumby.com and subscribe for free to the Bitcoin Takeover account to get access to some time-exclusive content. If you are monetizing your creativity, why not get paid in Bitcoin for it? Bumby.com, the Bitcoin way to monetize your content. Shopping with your Bitcoin on the internet is easy. ShopInBit is Europe's biggest Bitcoin store with over 800,000 products, ranging from Bitcoin books, toothpaste, mobile phones, computers, and watches. This month, I bought a Nintendo Game & Watch console with the classic Legend of Zelda, and it arrived in only 5 working days. And if you can't find what you're looking for, ShopInBit has got you covered. Their concierge service will get you anything and ship it worldwide. Additionally, they also have a travel hacking service that can get you the best deals on all things travel, flights, hotels, and more, for business and for vacations. Bitcoin Takeover listeners get a nice discount, of course. Use code BTCTKVR on your first order for a one-time €5 discount. For more details, go to shopinbit.com. Shop in Bit, Europe's biggest Bitcoin store.